Our girl is destitute.
What conspiracy theory do you have?
You're the Feyre.
I'm Feyre. He hates Tamlin. He's also a bit of a petty bitch.
And yet, she decides, let me just shoot my shot and see it. I'm like, girl.
Hello.
Oh, we are such little shysters after that last episode, let me tell you. Like, we are playing. I hate to say it, but we're playing the spoiler-free people. So like Tamlin's fiddle.
Dude. Honestly, like I'm starting to feel bad. Like I'm starting to feel like a little guilty. It was funny because when Ariel and I wrapped up the last episode, I realized that I almost wish that we had like talked a bit more about like, you know, like because like we didn't even bring up once that the main reason why Feyre says yes to this bargain is like for Tamlin. And we like did not bring it up once. We were just like, I really can't read this Rhysand guy. Like, is he good? Is he bad? I'm just so confused.
Oh my god.
Which, like, to be perfectly honest, that is how I felt when I read it the first time. Like, these are these I think are like the first two chapters where you're kind of like you're already questioning a lot before, but in these are the two chapters where you're like, what the fuck? How are we supposed to feel about this guy? So confused. We're getting no Tamlin time. We're getting a ton of Rhysand time.
Yep.
And is he good? Is he bad? Like, it's really, really hard to tell what she wants from you. Yeah. But yeah, we played that pretty fucking hard.
So. Oh, but I gotta say, I was so proud of you because you know me, my unfiltered spoiler-filled heart. I was like, I went in being like, okay, Ariel, you have to be conservative, right? We cannot let these people know that this man is both of our book boyfriends. Like, we think he's the sexiest motherfucker ever.
Yeah.
And you actually took the lead. I was so proud. You're like, yeah, no, he actually is like kind of sexy and I'm having weird feelings. And I'm like, I'm surprised we're doing this. Okay, I'm here for it.
I know. It was a heavy debate if I was going to do that. And I did because in all honesty, the way this male fucking flirts, and I said it in the last episode, the way this male fucking flirts is literally my kryptonite. Like, it is exactly some of my, like, this is how Jeff and I flirt. Like, literally, like, just so snarky, so ridiculous. This is how I flirt with Ariel. This is how I flirt with people. Like, this with is everyone. Just hard. Yes. Like, no one's safe, right? Like, this is
hide your kids, like, hide your wife.
Yeah, dude, this is how, like, I'm such a snarky little flirty piece of shit. And so it's just like, so that, I think that was the main reason why I felt like I could say that, is because I was like, this authentically is my shit. And so, like, I cannot deny that. And I do think, though, that she's very purposeful in this. It is a trope, this dark, like, brooding character who kind of like flirts with the main character in a very like specific way that is supposed to kind of make you be a little like, wait, what? And that's what she's doing in these chapters. I mean, yeah.
I mean, it's now that I am more well read in the romanticy space, it is very much like, I mean, I know this came first, but it's very much the Xaden Ryerson thing of like, you're supposed to hate him, but like, why is he being very flirty and hot? Like, so I loved it. Speaking of tropes, okay, we're just gonna dive into this. I think.
Real quick. Okay, so Serial Squad chapters 37 and 38 is what we did.
Yeah,
just to, sorry, we like did not do our normal opening at all.
No. I got so excited.
We've been so excited to finally get to do the bargain and like just finally get into this space. And Serial Squad, I know you're so excited that we all finally get to talk about Rhys in like a slightly better way. It's just so fun. But yes, chapters 37 and 38. We just left Feyre after the first task. Baby girl is dying.
Yeah, she
And
is.
basically, if you guys remember, if you're reading along or if you remember in the series, these chapters are the bargain that she makes with Rhys. And then the next chapter is sort of when she's doing the really dumb chores, right?
Yeah.
And so that's the kind of summary of these chapters. So just to kind of remind everyone of where we are. All right,
No, thank you
go.
for that. So, okay, I
Unleash.
forewarned
I unleash
Corryn.
you.
No, thank you. I feel like you're Amarantha unleashing the monster
Yeah.
right now because let
Yeah.
me tell you, I had to warn Corryn. I'm like, I'm gonna try not go off too much about this, but I am gonna go off. Okay.
Go off, queen.
Lately, the context to this rant I'm about to do is I have been seeing an increase. And I don't know if it's just I ended up on the wrong side of TikTok or whatnot,
Yeah.
but an increase in Rhys hate.
Mm.
And like some of the most outlandish, I believe baseless theories I have seen yet, specifically saying that to this day, as in like from Akatar through Silver Flames, Rhys, the bargain has not ended. Rhys is mind controlling Feyre because of this bargain. And like he's actually the big bad of the series. And I'm like, what? Like,
Yeah.
what? And like, look, to devil's advocate myself a little bit.
Okay.
I know very well Mother Mass loves a plot twist. We know this.
She loves a twist.
But
But
usually when there's a twist, there are like she doesn't make you fall this in love with who the person she is having do the twist, right? Because
Right.
even with Tamlin, right?
Yeah.
Like the vast majority of us did fall in love with Tamlin
Yeah.
reading Thorns and Roses.
Yeah.
But then when we went back in hindsight,
Yeah.
from the first time we meet him, we're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, no, we see the pattern.
Yeah.
It's not the case with Rhys. And like, look,
No.
maybe I will be open-minded enough to say maybe I'll change my mind as we continue reading or rereading the rest of the series. But I just cannot imagine. I just can't imagine it. But one of the big reasons I have seen, lately at least, that he's a bad guy is because of how he forces Feyre to do this bargain. Okay? And we're going to start off, and the most recent thing I saw was the twisting of the arm, like the literal twisting.
God.
So I'm going to read the quote. It's on page 333. So she says, this is like, just as a quick reminder and actually a clarifier, because we weren't sure last week when we talked about this. It's not that Feyre's arm bone is broken. It's that one of the bones she used in the first trial, like the human bones that she found, is embedded into her arm and it's infecting it, right?
Lovely.
So, I would say that is probably, I would say if like her arm was broken and the bone was sticking out, that would probably be worse, would be my guess.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not good. It fucking
It's not
hurts.
good. It's not
killing
good.
her.
It's not good. She's
No.
dying.
Yeah. So at this point in the chapter, Rhys has already proposed the bargain. She has like said several times, go to hell.
Yeah.
Etc. So, and he's told her she's dying. And we'll get back to all the proof of how she's dying in a bit. But first, she says, swift as lightning, he lashed out, grabbing the shard of bone in my arm and twisting. A scream shattered out of me, ravaging my aching throat. The world flashed black and white and red. I thrashed and writhed, but he kept his grip, twisting the bone a final time before releasing my arm. So this is the moment. Basically, she has said no to him so many times that after he does this, she finally caves and says, okay, I will strike this bargain with you. Okay? Yeah. Now, am I going to say this is a good and fair way for him to get her to agree to the bargain? No. It's not good. He's a morally gray man. Like, it's not good. But here's what I'm also going to say. We're going to go over all the pieces of evidence as to why Feyre is dying, because she has convinced herself she's not dying in this chapter. She says, oh, this fever I have, no, it's just a cold. Don't worry. It's like, I'm not dying. It's like, bitch, you're dying.
Yeah.
Here's how she's dying. First off, it has been several days since the first trial. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's important because her arm won't stop bleeding. The blood has not coagulated, meaning it is very likely infected.
Yeah.
And why is it infected? Oh, I don't know. Because she's caked in mud with monster shit and
Yeah.
human remains in it.
Yeah.
That's probably why it's infected. She has this bone in her arm. She is caked in mud completely in a freezing cell. So even if we take the arm shit away, hypothermia,
Yeah.
right? She has, at this point, like when she wakes up right before Rhys comes in, she has a really severe fever.
Yeah.
That is so bad to the point, like the room starts spinning.
Yeah.
She's having difficulty swallowing,
Yeah.
and her eyes are so sore that it hurts to keep them open.
Yeah.
Okay? Girl is dying. No matter what she says, she is dying. And Rhys
Yeah.
knows it.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the fact that she's dying, and let's not forget, this is Feyre Archeron, like survivor of all survivors, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
you put her on the show Survivor, she'll kick everyone's fucking ass.
Yeah.
Like she is in denial. Oh, and also we find out later in this chapter, there's no way anyone else is coming for her because Tamlin
Right.
can't, and then Lucian has been punished.
Yeah. So we have no idea what his situation is.
No.
Later in the book, we do find out that like
Yes.
he actually was not able to come because he was injured so intensely.
Yes.
So like we do as Serial Squad, we know that this is fact, that he was never gonna be, he was gonna come, but it was probably gonna be way too late.
She would be dead.
Way too late. Yeah.
Yes. Meaning Rhys knows this.
Yeah.
He has to know this.
Yeah.
Feyre tells Rhys, I'm going to say no less than 3 to 5 times before he twists her arm. She is being stubborn.
Yeah.
She's in denial that she's going to die, and she's being stubborn. So, while yes, I'm not going to say, he did it the best way, he's trying to save her fucking life. Like, he's trying to save her life.
Yeah. He was trying to prove a point. Right? He was trying to prove a point. And that is a statement you can make in your spoiler-free headspace and your spoiler headspace. He was trying to make a point. No matter what actual intentions this male if you just look at this moment or like this chapter alone, even if you don't like, this male wants her to live. And we know it's for a better intention.
Yes.
But he wants her to live. And she's being a fucking brat about it, which makes sense. It does make sense.
Absolutely.
Because she does not trust Rhys at all. She's tired of making bargains. Also, guys, she's fucking fever sick. Like, there's no way that we're doing a lot of like, I mean, honestly, the amount of logical thought she's able to still keep up during this is quite impressive. For how poorly she is going down this death rabbit hole. But he's trying to prove a point. And I think something that people need to remember is that like he at this point in the book, in the story, he's not like in love with her.
No.
Yet, right?
No.
He is very much he was realizing she is important and she could be the key to helping overthrow Amarantha.
So and he definitely has a crush on her.
He has a crush on her, for sure.
Yes.
For sure. Because she's been the source of his joy. She's been the source of all these things. But it's like this male was literally trying to do anything he could think of to get her to agree so he could save her life. Right?
Yes.
And because Faye only do things with bargains, right? It would have been so weird, I think, if Amarantha would have been like, what the fuck? If he had just cured her with purely because he won her money. I mean, that was a good point that you brought up in the spoiler portion. Like, that's a possibility. But like, if that was it and he had no thing on the other side, it would have made no sense. Like, people would have been like, that's a pretty big thing to do.
Thank you so much for teeing me up, because that was my next point. Because that is usually the counter argument to this is, well, why did he have to make her strike a bargain, right? The reason is it would look suspicious as hell to Amarantha if he did it. And this actually gets talked about a bit in the next chapter. I'm not going to skip too ahead, but like Feyre, this is that's for as a reminder, it's the chore she has to do where she has to like sort the lentils out from his fucking ash, right? Which
Yeah,
is
in
such a
his bedroom.
bizarre,
Yeah.
yeah, so bizarre. But Feyre points out, hey, this might be a test for you too.
Mhm.
And he says something like, well, why would it be a test for me? And she says, well, you lied about Claire better.
Yeah.
I think she points out you bet money on me. Because also, let's not forget when at the end of the first trial, when Amarantha looks at the betting sheet,
Right.
she says everyone bet against you except for one person. She doesn't say who it is, but the next thing she says is, Rhysand, come here.
Right. And we find out in this chapter that he was the one who bet on her. Like, that's what he says. He's
Yes.
like, you won me a lot of money. Yeah.
Yep. There is no world where he's already risking so much as it is to heal her. The next chapter, which we'll get to later, when he like helps her with that chore, like
Yeah.
he risks so much for her that he has to make a bargain to make this look somewhat normal,
Yeah.
right? Because let's not also forget that at the end of the day, while he is we want him to help Feyre, like you said, he does not know that's his mate yet. And his number one job right now that he has been doing for the last 49 years is to protect his people.
Yeah.
And if he blows his cover, he puts everyone in the night court, specifically Valaris,
Yeah.
at risk. And
Yeah.
the last thing I'm going to say about this, and this is for the Throne of Glass people, the people who still don't agree, who go, well, he's still a bad guy. It's giving the same thing as, well, Nehemia was a bad friend to Selena.
Ugh.
It's like, I'm sorry, her job was to protect her fucking people. Same with Rhys. His job is to protect his fucking people. Like,
I
I'm sorry.
can't.
I think it speaks volumes to the people who feel that way because
I
it's like,
can't.
like,
I can't. Oh, my heart.
no, don't even
Okay.
get me started.
I'm not going to say much. I'm not going to
that.
say much because I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil anything for people who haven't read it. But
Yeah.
interesting point, Ariel. Very interesting point. Wow. I'm going to need to take a second.
I know. Sorry to lay that one on you, but
Yeah.
no, because it's like, yes, we obviously want these people to help our hero, right? Which with whatever respective series we're talking about. But at the end of the day, these two respective characters, they are leaders of entire, whether it's a state or a court, right? They're
Right.
protecting
Their
huge
people.
groups of people.
Yeah.
And like they would not be doing their jobs if they didn't put that first.
Yeah.
And these books
Absolutely.
are always commentary on not just love, but on, frankly, social justice.
Right. Right. Well, and how like, yeah, it would be so actually no, I can't even say this. This isn't even like factual. Cause I was about to say, like, yeah, wouldn't have been great if he was like sweet to her from the very beginning. No, it wouldn't, because he wouldn't be the
No.
Rhys that we love. I'm sorry.
Right.
Guys, this
That's
is
true.
so the people who don't enjoy him, you should stop reading enemies to lovers books.
Yes.
Sorry.
They're just
I'm
not
so
for
sorry.
you.
You really should, because you're just gonna keep feeling this annoyed. Honestly.
And here's the thing.
Because
That's okay if it's not
that's
for
fine.
you.
That is absolutely fine.
But don't try and
Not, like,
change the
There's
thing
very
we
specific
love.
styles of books that are not for me. And
Exactly.
and like if those people love it, go off.
Yes.
Kings and queens and in betweens, fucking get it. I love that for you. But
Yes.
I think if this character makes you this angry, you really should save yourself and stop reading enemies to lovers, because this is what it fucking is. One of the
Yes.
characters is always going to be this snarky kind of dark character, whether it's the female main character, the male main character, whomever. It's going to be there. It's going to happen. They're going to do questionable things in the beginning and throughout their relationship. Like,
Yes.
I save yourself. Get out now. Because like comparatively to some of the other enemies to lovers that you and I have read, this is fucking chill what this guy does to her.
I mean,
like some of the other ones that actually that you haven't read yet, like
yeah,
are worse. And so
yeah.
it's a little like, come on. Like,
I mean, you brought up how you're rereading Crowns of Nyaxia. Like, if you can read that but not this, I'm kind of like, what?
If you
like,
can read that and still love one very specific male character from the first duology,
who we both love, mind you,
then you should be able to. But anyway,
yeah.
I feel like I'm we don't mean to be personally attacking people. I
No,
think
I
it's
know.
just that we feel kind of attacked because
Yes.
we love him so much. And to hold on to this bone twisting moment feels really insane to me
Yeah.
because put yourself in a situation with someone that you love. You have the opportunity to save them. Okay, not even
Yeah.
love, right? Let's go back to
Yeah.
the thing. Someone that you need to stay alive. You
Yeah.
need them to stay alive.
Yeah.
You have the ability to help them stay alive. And they're looking at you in the face saying, fuck off. And you know that if you remind them of the reality of the situation, like to me, him twisting it, like, is it mean? Yeah.
Yeah.
Could he
Did
have
it
done so many other things that would have been so much worse to try to make
100%.
his point? Yes. He could have broken her other arm and been like, well, where are we now, kid?
Yeah.
He could have busted her head. Like, he could have done so many things. And all he did is twist the bone in her arm. And the level of pain she experiences is because she's dying, which is the point he is trying to make.
Yes.
And I'm sorry to think that this has just been a long game of mind control is absolutely, okay, I need to be nice, is fucking wild to me. Because, like, that is the craziest, most intricate long game fucking ever. And
Yeah.
it will have introduced us to a villain that we have never seen the likes of. Like,
Yeah.
if this were to be true, because
Yeah.
the level of minute games that would mean that Rhys has been playing this entire time
They
with
have a
his inner
fucking kid
circle.
together.
They have a child.
Yeah.
But like with his inner circle, with
Oh.
like there's so many holes to that concept that it's
Yeah.
just. And here's another thing. Why are you trying to take this away from us?
No, and I think that is the thing that gets me the most upset.
It's almost like hurtful.
Yes. It gets to a point where it's like it does kind of feel personal, where it's like you're just it feels very contrarian. You know what I mean? Of like
To just be contrarian.
Yes, exactly. And it's like either you are just trying to be contrarian for contrarian's sake,
Yeah.
or like you just really don't like this type of character, which that is, again, that's fine. These
That's
books
fine.
are not for you then.
That's fine.
And that's okay.
And don't spread hate about it.
No,
Because
but
we
like
love him.
yes. It also like you're just ignoring so much of the text. You're ignoring so much of the text and purposely twisting things into what they're not.
Yeah.
Like, I know I've only read the series once. So, like, I might change my mind on some things. But Corinne has read it. This is her 4th reread.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like you would have seen some shit by now.
Well, and what my argument, or not argument, but what my follow-up is to that is that I have never believed that Rhys was perfect. Ever.
That's the other thing.
Ever. I have never viewed him as a perfect character. But none of these characters are.
No, and that's the point. And that's why we love him is like he isn't perfect. Like I don't want a perfect male main character.
No, I don't either. Ugh. No.
Yeah. You want to talk about perfect, quote unquote? That's the trope of Tamlin, right?
Right.
Like I
What
mean,
we
obviously
think he is, yeah.
What
yeah.
we think he is more so.
Well, what
obviously
he is like
certainly
in the
not perfect.
beginning. But honestly,
exactly.
no, but even Tamlin honestly isn't perfect. Like even when you're in your in love portion with Tamlin, like
yes.
he's not perfect. He's got anger issues, and we know that. And like Feyre is aware of that. Like one of the big things that I know is the reason why I fell in love with a lot of Sarah's writing, and I know why you ended up falling in love with too, and where we kind of came together a lot is just we love the constant gray areas of all the characters.
Yes.
Nothing is black and white. Absolutely not. And in fact, when something is, you're like, oh,
it's weird.
Like you should question it.
Yes.
Right? There should be a little bit of questioning going on.
Yep.
I feel like the only thing really that's black and white is that it's like Amarantha is bad.
Right.
Hybern is bad.
But even with Amarantha, you're like, yes, a lot of like the slavery parts, like that is definitively bad. But like why she does what she does to Jurian, for example, she
Right.
does that because he tortured her sister.
Right, which we both talked about, like, as from, like, a sister standpoint, get it. Totally, we see
Right.
you, queen. We get it.
Right,
Like,
exactly.
but I mean, that to me more feels like we understand where the trauma comes from, less
Right.
that we don't believe that she's, like, evil,
Oh,
you
she's
know?
definitely evil. But even what I'm trying to say is even the most evil characters, like I'm not gonna say who, but there's a character in Throne of Glass, right? Who is like
Yeah.
the big bad. There's
You
there's
understand
little
where that
gray.
yeah,
There's a scale of gray,
yeah,
right? And like mind you, they are on one end of the spectrum, but there's
yeah,
still a smidge of gray, right?
yeah,
And then like on even like if we're talking about good and bad, like arguably Feyre is on the opposite end. She is like
yeah,
the most good,
yeah.
right? But even her, when
Oh,
she looks into the Ouroboros, that's the
yeah,
whole fucking point of the
yeah,
Ouroboros.
yeah,
Like, or if we want to point out some like not as savory stuff of Feyre and Rhys, Silver Flames, like they don't always handle the shit with Nesta
no.
great.
No, they don't deal with it well. Yeah. I mean, there's
Doesn't mean that
yeah,
they weren't
yeah,
right because at the
yeah,
end of the day, sorry, Nesta was she had a drinking problem and a sex addiction.
yeah,
She was
and she
yeah, and she admits it later. She fucking admits it later. Doesn't mean that Feyre and Rhys handled it the best though, and they admit that.
yeah, they do, and, like, they basically did the closest thing that they could do, they put her in rehab.
Yes, that's what it was. That was rehab, which like
Like,
we'll when we
yeah,
get to Silver
and
Flames, we'll get to that. But
yeah, but and, like but I think I go back to the statement that started this all of just that, like,
yeah,
I've never I think many of us no one has said that he is perfect. When we say he's
no,
perfect, we're like, "Ah,
right.
he's perfect," like, that kind of, like, dreamy whatever, but I
The
would
way
have
you're writing
never
his name on your school books or
exactly,
whatever,
I
you
would
know,
never
like
actually say that Rhysand is a perfect character, and that's what I
no.
love about like, he makes a lot of mistakes. He makes a lot of
Yes.
mistakes. He makes some mistakes that honestly, how he handles the knowledge of Feyre's pregnancy and all of that is like,
I mean,
homie, I understand why he does it. I completely
yes.
understand why he does it. 1,000% understand why he does it. But fuck off, bro. You should have known your
It's not
wife.
an excuse.
You should have known her.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an excuse. But what I love is Sarah shows us these mistakes and she
Mhm.
shows a partnership. They become honest about it. And like, while we're not with Feyre and Rhys, like we're not, we're viewing all of this from Nesta's perspective.
Yeah.
We still know that they talked about it. She's
Yeah.
mad. And then they worked through
Yes.
it. It's like there's a lot of that kind of stuff. And like, yeah, there's some question, I can't wait till we get to Mist and Fury and we get to the fucking Weaver moment. Like, I
I
got
was
a lot of
about to bring
issues with
that
Rhys
up.
about that, I got a lot of problems with that.
This is why, like, when people like criticize this shit, I'm like, there's actually like
There's like
real
such
shit
better
we could
stuff
be
you could pull on.
such better stuff that never gets talked. Yeah, like him sending his mate and future wife into the Weaver's cabin to retrieve her own fucking wedding ring is psychotic.
It's
I
such a
love
move.
him,
I
but
know.
it's
I know. It's so psychotic. And it's like I think even like Moore or someone later is like that was
a choice.
you were real ballsy. Like you were really counting on a lot. Cuz
Yep.
basically it's him trying to get Feyre to prove to herself her ability and her power and her skill. And he has so
Yes.
much faith in her power that he doesn't for a second think that she's not going to succeed. But like,
Right.
wow, dude, what a fucking
Yeah.
move. But
Right.
to go back before we start
Yeah.
giving fuel to other people's fire,
I know, right?
but this is so funny. I was literally just about to be like, we're making a great point.
Yay us.
Yay us. But more this idea of like, if come on, guys, if you really want to pull something on Rhys, there's a lot of other stuff to pull on. But
For
this
real.
is starting to feel like we are actively attacking people now.
I know, I
Um,
know. I
but
said I'd try and rein it in, and I did not.
yeah, well, you got me going.
I know. We gassed each other up.
But like it does make sense why we're talking about this though, because
Yeah.
when you started bringing this up, like this was not the first time I'd been hearing people having a lot of issues with
Yes.
how Rhys handles particular things. I know a lot of people have a lot of problems with the Under the Mountain stuff, and it makes total sense because we're supposed to. We're supposed to
Yes.
not really understand this guy.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to talk about it in this week's spoiler portion, but in
Because
next
I
week's
think it comes
spoiler
in next week's.
portion, yeah, in next week's spoiler
Yeah.
portion, I did a little ahead reading for the
Yeah.
Surreal Squad, as in went to a completely different book and pulled some quotes that I think will be really interesting to talk about. So, but we'll save that for that. But it's just there is a lot of reasoning for what he is doing right now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
at the end of the day, this male is basic, like if we're just going to go back to talking about these very specific chapters.
Yeah.
This male is trying to keep her alive.
Hmm.
And all he does is touch a bone. And
Yeah.
the level of pain she experiences is more the fact that she is on the edge of death. And he is
Yes.
trying to save her, and she's being a butt, and understandably so. But
Yes.
she's not taking the aid, and he needs her to. It's a drastic measure that I'm sure he did not enjoy doing at all.
No.
But yeah, proving a point. He was just trying to prove a point.
Exactly. To calm things down possibly a little bit. We'll see. Something I noticed that I've noticed in other chapters, but I don't know why it just really hit this chapter that it annoyed the shit out of me, is the amount of times Feyre refers to Tamlin as my high lord.
Shut the fuck up. You shut the fuck up right now.
Were you gonna
Dude.
say it too?
Yes. I have a whole thing about this, my girl.
Bitch, we're Daemati, I swear to
My
God.
girl, I love it. Oh my God, I love it so much.
No, because let me tell you, like, she, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think she ever says that about Rhys.
Like, Ariel, my first note. Does she constantly refer to Rhys like this?
No. Like, no. But the amount of times she says about Tamlin.
Dude.
And it shows the power dynamic, right? Because with Tamlin, she sees him as being superior to herself because he sees himself that way. Whereas with Rhys, Rhys is Rhys. Like, like, they're on equal footing, which is why he's like, yeah, of course you can be a fucking high lady. Like, you should be a high lady. Like, it just proves, I mean, to our point, like, this is why I think, again, he's not a bad guy. He truly sees her as an equal. Like,
I'm sorry, I cannot get over this. I cannot get over this. This is so good because, yes, completely. From my brain to your mouth, literally almost verbatim. What I was gonna say is just it's a power. This is just. I literally said so full of a power dynamic. Oh my God! But I think what's really fascinating, right, is that like. It's so much entrenched in how the beginning of each of these relationships start, right?
Yes.
And it kind of goes hand in hand with this other thing that I did point out in the spoiler-free portion of how Feyre is noticing how she kind of doesn't have a filter when Rhysand is around.
Right. I mean, one could say she's being her most authentic self around Rhys.
Yes, exactly. Like she says in the next chapter that she doesn't have like a filter, like words just seem to come out around him. And I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with this whole thing of how she's constantly referring to Tamlin as my high lord. It's just these like really bizarre differences, and it's power dynamic, but it's honestly more in how she is instinctually feeling with these characters.
Yep.
Right? And you could argue the like, well, to be fair, gavel, gavel, to be fair, when she first met Tamlin, he was a beast. Okay, when she first met Rhysand, he was saving her. Huh, now isn't that interesting? I've never put that next to each other before.
One was kidnapping, one was saving.
Wow, I mean, Sarah showed it to us like immediately, didn't she? Fascinating.
She really did.
But I more think when she really finds out who Rhysand is.
Yes.
Right? It's when he comes to the manor. And it's a very scary, so like it would only make sense that she would actually be terrified of Rhysand. And
Right.
what's so bizarre is it feels like she's scared of him because she knows she's supposed to be.
Right.
And it feels like she's scared of him also because she has seen his ability, which is terrifying,
Right.
right? It is
Right.
terrifying that he can do these things with his mind. But by this point, she hasn't seen him kill anybody. She hasn't
No.
seen him do anything yet.
Nope.
But yeah, like I really was trying to rack my head of like later in the books, is this when she is in love with Rhysand, does she refer to him as my high lord? And I
I don't
think
think
she may
so.
do it like once, like when he's
Yeah.
like when she's worried about him, or like when she's
Right.
when she's talking to him, like maybe they're doing it in like a flirty way, like I don't
Right.
know.
Right.
But just it's something that since she's been under the mountain,
Mhm.
it is a phrase that has come up
Yeah.
frequently. And
Yeah.
I'm with you. I don't know why in this chapter it hit me a lot more, but I was like, why are you not saying Tamlin in your head? Like, why are you
Right.
constantly referring to him as my high lord? And it feels like Sarah is constantly trying to remind us of this unequal power dynamic
Yeah.
between these characters.
Well, and I feel like that's even more emphasized a little bit later. So on page 335, I think it's right after Rhys has maybe said like, "Oh yeah, he's told her like Lucian's not coming. Like, are you like do you think Tamlin's going to come? No, blah blah blah." So on page 335, Feyre said, "And Tamlin had done so much for me, for my family. Even if I'd lied about the treaty, about sparing me from its terms, he'd saved my life that day against the Naga and saved it again by sending me away from the manor." And to me, like, the way I read that was like, she's basically making up excuses for Tamlin, being like, well, like, he's already done so much for me. So, like, yeah, I can't really expect him to come and save me again. And it's like, what? Like, in my in the next chapter we'll get to like we realize something very big in the next chapter during the spoiler free episode about like why Tamlin hasn't been doing anything, and he actually has a pretty valid excuse. But
Yeah.
the fact that Feyre does not know this yet, and the fact that like Feyre is already like negotiating almost like against herself in a way of like he's already done so much for me. It's like it just reminds me of so many abusive relationships. It reminds me of my own,
Yeah.
frankly, where I was
Yeah.
like, well, he already did this for me.
Right.
So why should I expect him, to want to go on a date or like
Right.
tell people about us? It's like,
Right.
what?
Yeah.
Like that is not normal.
Yeah.
Like this man should be, if he really is in love with her as much as he says he should be doing everything in his power to rescue her.
Yeah.
Because I mean, especially at this point, he knows she's probably gonna fucking die, right? Now,
Yeah.
again, we'll get to the next chapter and why it's not as easy as that. But at this point, Feyre doesn't know that. Meanwhile, by contrast, look at all the shit that Rhys does for her in this book alone.
Yeah. Well, can I read you something from my notebook?
Yeah.
So, after the quote you just read, listen to
Yeah.
what I wrote. Oh, baby girl, you are just so gone. Everything is for him, making all the excuses. Why are we the
Yep.
same person? Why did that's literally what you just said. What is going
Daymani.
what is going on right now? We are like this is fucking insane. Literally, Ariel was like having to keep it inside that entire time you were just saying it. I was like, it just happened again. We just did the same. What is
I feel like
happening?
this is like when women's periods sink. You know what I mean? I mean, we are gonna have an eclipse soon on Sunday, so maybe
Our
that's
thoughts are syncing up. They're just syncing up so well. I also think I feel like this quote is like so dangerous too, because it starts off with her
Yeah.
being like, Nesta would have done the same for me, for Elaine. Like she's doing this thing of that. First of all, fascinating about how we feel about a Nesta now. Fascinating how quickly that
Yeah.
happened. But also, she is throwing there's no sense of self-preservation with this girl
None.
because she
None.
literally is finding every other possible excuse outside of herself to
Mhm.
make this bargain. And it's so funny because she clearly thinks it's selfish that she's willing to do anything to keep herself alive.
Right.
And okay, this is not, in my mind, this is not the railroad
No.
problem, right?
Analogy. Yeah, no.
This is not that, right?
No.
Like, yes, in her mind, Rhys is a bad guy, blah, blah,
Yes.
blah. Yes. But she also knows if she completes these tasks, she can free the Spring Court and free Tamlin. So her surviving is like, it is good.
Yes.
But it's also like, so it's not gonna like, she's not gonna kill thousands of people by by her living. This is not that situation. And it's so bizarre to me that she needs all these other things to like save herself, and they have nothing to do with her. But yeah, it feels so desperate that like he's already done so much for me. And I think it's so weird that she doesn't say like, I can't live, like there's none of these like, I'm so madly in love with him. Like there is one moment when she's like, I would sell my soul for him, or like whatever.
Yeah.
But like Sarah does not give us this language of like, I have to save my heart, and my heart is Tamlin. Like she doesn't give us these kind of like really sappy romantic. It's like he's done so much for me.
Yeah.
What? Like that's just, it's so weird. It's so
weird, and it's just so, like you said, like she's lost herself.
Yeah, she's gone. She's completely gone.
The irony is like when she's put in this dangerous scenario, right, of these trials and being with Rhys, making this bargain with Rhys, which at this time she thinks is dangerous. We know it's not. That's how she kind of finds herself again in a lot of ways. She finds herself actually in danger, right? Like, because in Mist and Fury, when she's like going through the Tamlin breakup, when does she find herself again? When she goes off on these adventures with Rhys that are dangerous. So, speaking of which, actually, perfect segue. One quote I thought was just such foreshadowing was on page 335. It's after she makes the bargain with him. I love, by the way, that she fucking negotiates it down to 1 week. I'm like,
it's so good.
My girl.
And what I love too is like, I really do feel like Rhys is so amused. Like, I feel like he totally is just like, oh, damn. If I didn't have a crush on you before, I definitely have a crush on you now. Like, I really
know,
like baby girl's bleeding out, heavily feverish, and is like, all right, so 2 weeks, are we sure?
1 week, 1
hour, 1 day. Like she's falling apart, and she's negotiating. I fucking love it. Ugh,
falling apart, caked in like monster shit, basically. Like I love it. But so she agrees. We know this, to the bargain, and then she says, I couldn't think entirely of the enormity of what I was about to give, or else I might refuse again. And I'm like, yeah, girl, like, you have no idea, truly, the scale of what you just agreed to.
Yeah.
Because you have no idea that male is your fucking mate.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
This goes deeper than a bargain, bitch.
Yeah.
Like, this is...
The things you have set in motion, my love. The wheels are returning.
I like to think about if she hadn't agreed.
She would have died.
She would have died. We would have gotten no more books. Like, but like, you know, if these weren't books, right? This is real. Like thinking about like the fate of Prithian, right? Like,
great point.
Amarantha would continue to rule probably.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So, who knows? I mean, I feel like, or like, Rhys probably would have died trying, or he would have figured out a way, but he would have lost a lot in the process, I think. I think something would have happened. It's so funny. I hadn't thought about, because, this is the beginning. This is what starts Feyre and Rhys. Like, you know, and to think what ends up happening to this tattoo and how it ends up getting bigger and there ends up being more and just kind of like all these things, and how the eye turns into such a comfort for her, like later, and just, it's so, you know, I love a tattooed broad.
You know, just when you said this is the beginning, immediately, this is such like a weird, but it actually makes so much sense. The song at the beginning from the classic 1997, I believe, movie Anastasia came to mind. The "Life is a road and I want to keep going." That song. It's the song in the end credits where they're like, "I
Oh
want to be at
my
the beginning with
god.
you." And then I'm
Wow.
like, it made me realize, I'm like, "Oh my god, Feyre and Rhys are Dimitri and Anastasia." Like, that's, like, literally their exact dynamic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bit of a
They
lost girl.
have to put on a ruse in front of
He's kind of
everyone.
like a con man, you
Yes.
know? I mean,
Can't have to be a bad guy.
I would actually say that Rhys is actually a better male than
But
Dimitri
Dimitri,
is,
yeah,
because
yeah.
Dimitri purely was a con man who,
Mhm.
like, turned good,
Yeah.
right? And
Yes.
through his love of Anastasia.
Yeah.
Spoiler, guys, if you haven't seen
I
Anastasia.
would say
But
spoiler, that's history, but it's also kinda not because that
yeah,
actually didn't
yeah, that
happen.
didn't happen. Well, we don't know. No one knows about Anastasia.
Yeah.
But, and Rhys, like, he actually has been good for quite a while and has been playing
Yes.
the role. But anyway,
Yes.
funny comparison. But yes,
Right?
this is the beginning, of
At
their
the beginning.
Well,
Sorry.
what's
I
funny
fucking
is,
love
like,
that movie.
yeah, no, I love that movie so much. It's also just really interesting to think about, like, just how thick his character, like, Rhys is Rhys has been living in this dual life character thing so well that, like, this whole scene must have
Yeah.
been very weird for him to, like, play out,
Yeah.
and almost every time
Right?
he's with her, and I think that's why the more time they spend together, it's really hard for him to, like, keep the mask up fully.
Yeah.
We already see it in chapter 37 with
Yep.
the bargain. There's,
Yep.
like, little things that kind of, like, come out that I think if he was in his most clever, um, you know, kinda, like, clever
Putting on
politician
airs.
vibe,
Yeah.
he would've held a lot more to the chest, I think.
He
Like,
lets shit slip for
he
sure.
lets shit slip even when he's making the bargain. And then it's so fascinating how in chapter 38, he lets a lot more slip. And it's
Oh,
just it's learning that Fire Night, Cal and Mai, that he was there
yeah.
of his own reasoning, which we all know why he was there. He was basically
Right.
looking for Feyre. Um,
Yes.
without knowing he was looking for her.
Yeah.
But he pretty much tells her that he was there on his own without her. He tells Feyre that he was punished for it. He also makes a point to tell Feyre that Amarantha told him to put the dead head in the garden. He, like,
Yes.
makes a point to make sure she knows,
Yeah.
like, Amarantha told me to do that.
You guys, he shows her his wings.
Oh my god, right, which is so wild because you don't at this juncture realize how fucking big of a deal that is. Thank you, Ariel. I forgot
Yes.
about that.
I had totally forgotten because, like, because the wings are made such a big deal in Mist and Fury, I had forgotten we'd seen them in Thorns and Roses.
So
I mean, he
early.
gets so vulnerable in this chapter with her. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Well, I'm just so glad you brought up the wings thing because there's so many other fairies who don't know he has wings. And
Right.
we don't learn that till later when we spend more time with him, but it's like
Yeah.
we actually learn later that, like, that side of himself is really only seen, like, in Valeris.
Yeah.
Him with wings, like, he normally doesn't really bring them out, like, anywhere else besides Valeris. So the fact that he shows Feyre
Oh,
this early, I'm so glad you brought that up. I hadn't thought about how huge of a deal that is.
massive. One, it's so funny because, like, as much of a showboat as Reese is,
Yeah.
because he's a showboat,
Oh
like,
my
it
god,
is really
yes. I
it
mean,
is really interesting that he, like, I'm talking, like, in general, like, not just this chapter, but, like, he does hide his wings. And, like, I think part of that is strategy in terms of, like,
yeah.
holding back some of his power,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes.
But I do think part of it is vulnerability. Because
Mm.
also, like, let us not forget, he gets his wings from his mom because his mom's the Illyrian out of his two parents. and
Yeah.
he was way closer to his mom than he was his dad, and, like, you can tell, that's really where his heart lies, is his mom and, like,
Yeah.
the Illyrians. I mean,
Yeah.
his 2 best friends are Illyrian, right?
Yeah.
Like, so I think definitely part of it is to, like, kind of, like, reserve some of his power, showing how much power he actually has, but, like, I
Yes.
think a lot of it really is vulnerability, like,
Yeah.
not like, only showing it to the people he trusts,
Yeah,
and
that's
then
yeah.
in fucking battle, sure. But,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think this is a massive deal that he
It
shows
is a
his
massive
wings.
deal.
Also, on page 340, we get our first Feyre darling. I was I, like,
Yeah!
screamed. I was
I
like,
know,
"Feyre
dude. I
darling!"
know, I
Which
did too. I literally wrote, I was like, "Is this our first Feyre darling?" And I was like, "Oh my god, I think it
Uh-huh.
is."
Which also, just as a reminder to everyone, there is a theory that, because Prythian, the map of Prythian looks a lot like the UK, which places the Night Court in Scotland,
Yeah,
which would give Rhys a Scottish accent, and like
hot.
the TikToks I've seen of the
Bro,
Scottish
it's
version of Rhys saying
dude,
"Feyre darling," like
dude.
it's like low key pornographic.
No, like, honestly, it's like even thinking about it, I'm getting, like,
I know.
flushed and, like, a little,
Woo!
like, yeah, it's and if anyone who says a Scottish accent can't be sexy, just fuck right off. Just fuck right off.
I'm
Or
sorry, I
we have
question
some
your
things you
taste.
can listen to, okay?
Yeah,
Because like,
exactly.
dear God,
Yeah.
who knew that 2 words could just do so
Mm,
much, you know? Like,
right?
wowie kazowie. But yes, we get our first Feyre darling, which is
Ugh,
so fun, so exciting. I love it.
love it.
I love it so much.
The other thing, we alluded to this earlier during our Rhys rant, but so Feyre brings up, because she's such a smart cookie, she brings up in this chapter that, just as a reminder, everyone, so this is when she's doing these stupid fucking chores, right? And
Yeah,
this one specifically is the second chore where she's not told whose room she is in. She's just told, you gotta like take these lentils that got spilled in this ash, gotta sort them from the ash, and if you don't, by the time the owner of this room comes in, he'll skin you alive, right?
right.
And it's fucking Rhys, right? Which is
Yeah.
like, that's the joke. So they're talking about this task that she has to do, and Feyre says, maybe this is a test for you from Amarantha.
Mhm.
And she says to Rhys, she said, because he's like, what do you mean? She says, you bet on me during my first task. She didn't seem pleased about it. And I think she also brings up, oh yeah, she says, you lied to her about Claire. You knew very well what I looked like.
Mhm.
And we talked about this in the spoiler free chapter or episode, but I do think that this, in some ways, might have been more of a test for Rhys than it was for Feyre. Because
Right.
I think Amarantha has definitely caught on. At the very least, he likes her in some capacity. He's like betting on her because he thinks like she's gonna like take her down,
Yeah.
or senses he has feelings for her, or possibly both. Which, like, could you imagine? I'm sorry, can we just take a minute here to think about the fact that Amarantha has both Tamlin and Rhys? She's literally sleeping with Rhys and has Tamlin like by her side 24/7. And both of these men hate her and want to be with this human girl. Like, that must
Yeah.
infuriate the shit out of her.
Oh, yeah. Like, how
Like,
frustrating. I
yeah.
mean, but, like, it doesn't that feels like so classic, like, villain, mean girl,
Yes.
right? Like, trope kind of, right? Of just, like,
Absolutely.
this concept of, like, from one viewpoint, it looks like they have it all, but in
Mhm.
reality, they just kind of, like, forced a lot of situations.
Mhm.
And 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 none of it's true, right?
Right.
Like, because in reality, at this point, it personally, I believe that Amarantha is just fucking pissed about the betting. Like, I think that's the
Yes.
biggest reason why she's mad about this, because it's actively going against something she wants, right?
Yes.
And she's
Yeah.
already a little pissed about the Claire thing because she's kind of like, maybe she doesn't fully know that he lied, but she knows that he didn't. She knows that something was amiss there.
Right.
And so I like, so at this point, I don't even know if she's vibing that he likes her, but she's such an
Yeah.
insecure, jealous,
Yes.
power hungry character that
Yeah.
she's already jealous of Feyre
Yeah.
just because that he bet on her. And
Yeah.
the fury, you're right, the fury that this female must be feeling
Yeah.
has gotta be insane because
Oh.
it's a mortal. It's a human.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
they are lowly. They are animals. They are, you know, these disgusting little creatures. Like,
I don't think she, like, quite even cares about the reason. Although if she found out, like, the actual reason, it would probably make her even, like, worse. But,
yeah,
like, all that matters is, like, for some reason, Rhys believes in Feyre.
in this girl. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
To the
it's
point to bet a
just
ton of money on her.
to bet a ton of money on her. And it's like you bring up like, yeah, she must be so annoyed because yeah, I agree too. I think she does it. I think Amarantha does it very purposefully, and
Yeah.
I don't think that Amarantha even really knows what she wants him to do to
No.
Feyre in the room. I think she just wants to see what he does. Like,
Exactly.
will he pff, will he try to have sex with her?
Yeah.
Will he slap her? Will he have a simple chat, which is basically what they end up doing. Like, I think
Yeah.
she just wants it's like she put 2 rats in a cage and she wants to see what they're
Yeah.
gonna do to each other. And I feel like
Yes.
that's it.
Well, and then this also kind of on a similar note, this goes back to like this argument of like there's just no way Reese is like actually evil because like we talked about a bit of this in the spoiler free episode of like if Reese were really evil, right?
Mhm.
He has so many opportunities at any given moment under the
To
mountain
yeah.
to just do horrible, horrible things to
Yeah.
Feyre, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like, yes, you could argue he's playing a long game to get to Tamlin, which, like, let's not forget, like, he's definitely trying to hurt Tamlin, like,
Yeah.
for sure. There's no way he's not.
100%. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
That's still involved
but
here.
Mare, and like, not to say this validates it, but let's also not forget that Tamlin helped murder his family.
Yeah.
So, like, yeah, I kind of can't blame him entirely, but I digress. Um, yeah, Reese had so many opportunities to severely hurt Feyre in a multitude of ways. And not only does he not, but aside from the bargain in the last chapter, he helps her
Yeah.
with this task. He
Yeah.
cleans the lentils up. He cleans her a second time,
Yeah.
which, oh, one thing I forgot to point out in the last chapter was when Lucian came and fixed her nose a few chapters ago. He purposely did not clean her or even get rid of like the bruising because he said we have to make it look realistic
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
your nose was fixed on its own. Reese doesn't give a shit.
He
He's like,
doesn't
no,
care.
you're going to be comfortable, right? Both times. Both
Yeah.
times now.
Yeah.
So he cleans her and he literally says he says on page 343 there a gift for having the balls to even ask. She's asking about if oh, we'll get to this about helping her with the riddle.
Mhm.
But then he goes on to glamour the guards who come to get her from his room
Yeah.
and say, you are not to give her any more chores. You are not to touch her. And if you do, you are to kill yourselves.
Yeah. What a move.
What a move.
Yeah.
So, other than playing like an extremely long game,
Yeah.
I don't see the purpose in that.
Yeah. No, I don't either. And I think what's interesting too is I feel like him making the choice to glamour the guards and say like no more meaningless tasks, like all this kind of stuff. I also feel like this feels like a really intense step and stance for him to make. I feel like the
Yeah.
bargain is one thing, but
Yeah.
like he is really drawing more of a line in the sand, I feel like, with this
Yeah.
action because this is a
Yep.
pretty big action. And I don't know if it's just like pure annoyance or what have you, but like this is quite a moment because this is like
Yeah.
he is now actively making the bargain is one thing, but this is now actively going against something that clearly Amarantha wants to be done to this person. And so
Yes.
this is quite a move. Quite a
Quite a
move.
move.
But before that,
Speaking of glamours.
yeah, so this is my okay, so basically what Ariel is talking about is Feyre being the girl that we love, that we just love so much. She's kind of trying to use her like proximity to Rhys to like get some answers, right? So
Yes.
she tries to ask about the riddle. And he basically says, no, like she ordered us not to help you. Even if I felt like helping you, I couldn't. She gives the order and we all bow to it. Don't waste your breath. I can't tell you. No one here can. If she ordered us all to stop breathing, we would have to obey that too. And this brings up a lot of questions for Ariel
Yeah.
and I because, like, I really want to know what are the specifics of that. Is it a
Yeah.
glamour? Is it
Yeah.
or does he more just mean that like they're in such a rough space under the mountain where she holds so much fucking power
Yeah.
over people's lives and literally actually is holding on to people's power, to
Yeah.
fairy power.
Yeah.
Does he mean in that sense that it's more like metaphorically they can't, if she were to say jump, we would have to? But I feel like it's more that he's saying no, like there's
I think
some
it's
sort
literal.
of spell, like
Yes.
maybe when they all drank and
Yep.
she took their powers, maybe there was something involved in that where it's like you
Yeah.
actually like have to do what I like command of you.
I think he is saying she literally has this power over us. So if she says stop breathing, we have to stop breathing, which if that is the case, completely recontextualizes everything we know about Tamlin Under the Mountain.
Yeah.
And I hate to say that, but if Amarantha, after Feyre was taken down to her cell by the adder, told everyone in that throne room, you are not allowed to help her, and like they're all under some kind of magical spell, glamour, whatever, that means Tamlin can't do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think she specifically because technically what everything Rhys is doing is helping her.
That's
So
true.
I think more what
Yes.
Rhys is saying is that like she ordered us not to help you, like I think he
With the
means
riddle.
specifically with the riddle.
But even that, because I know last week we
Yeah.
talked about like there's a multitude of reasons why Tamlin physically cannot help her. Like he cannot
Yes.
go down to her cell. Like, and I mean, it's established, I think, in this chapter, he is being watched 24/7, every
Yes.
one of his moves. So
Yes.
we already said we understand why he can't do that. But I think it was last week we talked about why is he not at the very least trying to solve this riddle? And
Right.
then the one moment he gets with her, when instead he fucking makes out with her, he tells her
This
what
is
he's
why.
figured out. This is why.
Yeah.
This
Because
is
he
why.
literally can't.
He cannot, and that changes a lot of my feelings about Tamlin, honestly.
Yeah, me too. What it also brings up really is
Yeah.
is the potential for what Amarantha says to Tamlin behind closed doors that we don't
Yeah.
know. The possibility of
Yeah.
things that she has told him he can't do. Like
Yes.
it opens up a lot of doors of things.
Yes.
But I completely agree. And I think it's so fascinating how many of us gloss over this portion. Like this blew me out of the water when I read that for this week's recording. I was like,
Yeah.
"Wait, why do we never talk wait, this is a really serious statement that we have right here."
Well, not to put my tinfoil Fae ears on, but this is why I really think at some point, whether it's 6 or beyond, we're gonna get a Tamlin POV book.
Yeah.
Because I think that if we do, this will be talked about and it will be made clear at the very least why he didn't, because I mean, I think one of the number one, I'm going to say at least top 5 things that universally gets talked about in the fandom is why the fuck Tamlin didn't do anything
Yeah,
under the mountain.
absolutely.
And I think that Sarah possibly would like to kind of explain why, honestly.
Yeah.
And I certainly would love to know more, right? I
Yes.
think there's a lot of things I'd love to know more about why Tamlin did or didn't do the things he did. But this really
Yeah.
this really does change a lot about how I mean,
Yeah.
it doesn't change anything about how I feel about what he does in Mist and Fury. I want to make that
Yeah,
perfectly
no,
clear
no.
because he was under no spells whatsoever during that. That was
100%.
all Tamlin.
Yeah,
But
100%.
in Thorns and Roses,
Yeah. It
yeah.
changes. It changes. It does. It changes it. It really
Yeah.
does. And I'm so glad that you brought up the thing about how we were like, you get a moment alone with her and you don't try to talk out the or the riddle. Why was that not
Yeah.
one of like that's one of the few things he could have done
Yes.
to have any kind of help
Yeah.
whatsoever,
But it
right?
but it turns
And
out
he
he couldn't.
didn't. And I'm so glad you brought that up because I wasn't even thinking that when I was thinking about how much this recontextualizes Tamlin Under the Mountain. You're
Yeah.
totally right. It's like, what else could Tamlin have done with a moment alone with Feyre? Maybe said some stuff instead of just like making out with her,
Yeah.
maybe used some
But
words.
Corinne, I can't believe what I'm about to say. I can't believe this. I I might hate myself after saying this. I now kind of get why he did just
Make
try
out with
and
her.
make out with her because if he can't do anything, if he truly is
Interesting. Yeah.
physically unable to do anything,
Yeah.
what are you going to do? You're going to enjoy
Let's
the only moments you have with the person you love. And
let's
I
share some
oh,
physical intimacy
I
because
can't
because
fault
what is
him.
well because what is the best if you and your partner can't talk honestly about something,
Corinne,
what's another way to feel your love and intimacy with each other?
I just thought of something. What if that was him trying to tell her the answer? Because the answer to the riddle is love.
And he says I love you when he leaves them making out.
What if he was trying to tell her the answer? Fuck.
Oh my god. Do colors look different to you now?
I think so. What is going
Like,
on?
world has changed around us.
I'm having a crisis.
I feel like I need to stand up. Like, I'm like,
Wow. Folks, you're seeing in real time people's hearts and minds being changed.
Ariel.
I think he was trying to tell her the answer.
Oh my god. I'm trying to find a gavel. I'm trying
There's none.
so hard.
There's none.
And could it be that Sarah stayed so quiet and not defended him? Because first of all, she kind of lets us, she's kind of
Yeah.
T-Swifty about that, where she sort of lets us
Yeah.
kind of fight amongst ourselves.
Love that you said that, but yes.
I thought you would. But it also could be because she does have a POV Tamlin book coming out and she just doesn't.
So.
I'm falling to the ground now.
I like low key. I can't tell if it's my makeup just getting my eyes or me. Like I'm a little bit tearing up. I'm like, what is
I'm currently on the ground.
help?
This is going to be great for the YouTube. For people that are listening and not watching, I'm
Corinne's
currently I'm just a head in frame. I am on the ground.
Wow. Okay.
Ariel.
I don't know if I can.
I don't
know
think
if
I
I
can
have
talk.
any more to say.
I don't think I can say anything more. Like,
no. I think we kind of need to end it there because
I think we have to. I don't really
I
know how we go forward, to be perfectly honest with you.
I feel like I need to talk to my therapist now.
Kinda.
After that. Like that.
Okay. But like, honestly, don't you kind of love this though?
No,
Like, I love this.
I think that's why I'm freaking out is because I'm like,
I love this.
why am I happy about this?
I'm so happy about it because I feel like it gives. Do you almost feel like it aligns more with the Tamlin that you knew in the beginning of the book?
It gives him a redemption.
Oh my God, Ariel, the man who wrote limericks. Of course he fucking knows the answer to the riddle.
I want to scream.
He would win all the limerick songs. Why did we all so ready to just think he was dumb? Oh my God.
Turns out we were the dumb bitches the whole time.
Plot twist. It was us.
Okay. Wow. Sarah J. Maas, if you're listening,
You
for the
fucking
love of God, first off, you're
evil
a goddess.
genius.
I'm sure you're writing a Tamlin POV book, but if you are not, I desperately
We
need
need
you to
it.
write
Like,
one.
we
We
need it
need it.
really bad. To be clear, Feyre and Rhysand are mates and they are meant
Yes.
to be together. And Tamlin made a lot of really bad Mist and Fury. Ugh.
Yes.
But this literally changes this book so intensely to me.
Like, wow.
Like, this feels like more of a even love triangle now.
Yes. This is the twist, I feel. This is the big old twist.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got nothing.
Yeah, that's all I had. Wow. I'm going to be spiraling, I think, for the rest of the day after this revelation.
Woo, doggy. What a life-changing little episode we just had.
God. Well,
Wow.
so next week, we're just going to cover chapter 39. This is the big Under the Mountain parties, which I'm sure we're going to have a lengthy discussion about that. Because I know you and I have some very, very specific thoughts on it.
Yes.
In the meantime, we would love it if you rated, reviewed, and subscribed to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as followed us on TikTok, Instagram, and Blue Sky at Cauldron Save Us Pod. I'm already thinking about how that big revelation we had is definitely going on TikTok. So if you're just listening and not watching, you can probably find that clip on TikTok.
Yeah.
And then if you had your own revelation about Tamlin or anyone else, you can email us at cauldronsaveus@gmail.com.
Wow. Serial Squad, what a journey that this episode just was. Thanks for being along with us. And as always, you're welcome.
And we're sorry. Like, hopefully you didn't crash out like we did. Bye.
Bye.